Good morning, boys and girls. How are you today? This is Miss Dowdy. I am back again today with the third orientation for the Media Center. Well, you know that I used to be in fifth grade. Now I am the media specialist. And I cannot wait, boys and girls, until you come back to school and be able to read all of the wonderful books we have here in the Media Center. I'm going to start with orientation number 3 today. So I'm going to share my screen and let's get started. Okay, boys and girls, this is the third orientation. Now, we need to remember the lessons that we've already covered are parts of a book. And remember, you have the front cover with the title and the author. You have the spine, which will have the title and author as well, along with information where the book is located in the media center. You'll have the back cover, and that sometimes will have a summary of the book and a nice little picture. And you have the title page, which the only thing different about the title page is you will have the publisher and the publishing company and where it's located. We also talked about book manners. You know that soon when you come back to school, you will, or if you come back to school, you have to remember to take care of your books. No eating or drinking around the book. Make sure you do not fold the pages and use a bookmark. Also, please put books on the shelf properly. Also, we talked about rules in the library, and I'm going to go over that slide again. Remember, quiet feet and inside voice in the library because the library will be used by several other students. Also, be a good listener. I will be doing a lot of lessons during your media time, so please make sure you're listening properly, not only to the teacher, but to your friends. Also, respect others and use your manners. Raising your hand is always a good rule of thumb, especially when you're in the media center, just like in the classroom. Also, use shelf markers when you're checking out books and return your books on time. And more importantly, ask questions when needed. Now, the checkout rules by grade level. The good thing, boys and girls, second and third grade, you will be able to check out two books, one fiction book as well as one nonfiction book. Also, there are some things to remember when you're checking out. Number one, use a shelf marker. You will see the shelf markers are still located in a big tin can. Please make sure you grab one of them before you go book shopping to make sure you hold the place in the library, on the library shelf. You don't want to get things confused or mixed up on the shelf. So, using a shelf marker is the perfect thing to do when you're checking out a book. Also, monitor your tone. We will have visitors in the library. All of the students will be able to come in. So you have to make sure you're using your inside voice when you are in the media center. Now, I do have a chime, and if we're too loud, I will actually use that as a symbol for us to freeze and zip. That means to stop talking and to freeze where you are. Just like in the gym, if Coach Angel blows her whistle, you guys have to be still and stop talking. The chime is used the same way in the media center. So remember, if you hear the chime, you're going to zip it and freeze. Number four, scan your barcode and your book at checkout. Now, when you're checking in a book, you simply have to scan the book and it will check in. But if you're checking out, you have to scan your barcode first because your barcode will let us know who you are. And then you check the book out and you're going to scan the barcode on the book after that. And five, you're going to check out. Once you check out, when we're in here for the media lessons, you're going to check out and sit at the table and read your new book. Let's review the sections of the library. You know that we talked about yesterday, there's four sections: the everybody section, the nonfiction section, fiction section, and biography section. Now, the everybody section mainly made up picture books, also made up stories, and they're sorted by the author's last name. You will notice on the spine of the everybody book, you will see the letter E, and the author's last name. E stands for everybody. Next, you have the nonfiction section. These are books about real things and they're sorted by numbers. So you'll actually see the Dewey Decimal Number on the spine of the book. And you'll also see the author's last name as well. So you're going to use words, and you'll see that a nonfiction book, it uses words and pictures and labels to help you guys. So you will also see within this section, you'll see a couple of pictures. You'll see labels to let you know whether it's butterflies, whether that's the insects, whether it's reptiles. You'll see those. The nonfiction section has several labels. Also, they're sorted by the different categories. So if you're looking for the human body, you'll see all the books about the human body are in that section. If you're looking for books about drag car races, then you'll see all of the books about drag cars and races within that section. Next, the fiction section. You will see the fiction section is full of chapter books. Also, there's made up stories and they're sorted by the author's last name. You will notice on the spine, you'll see FIC. FIC stands for fiction, and you'll see the author's last name as well. Now, the different thing about the fiction section is that the books have a sticker on them, and the stickers are the genre labels. Whether it's a humorous book, you'll see the humor sticker. If it's realistic fiction, you will see the realistic fiction sticker. If it is an animal book, you will see the animal book. So the fiction section actually has the labels on the spine as well. The biography section, these are books about real people, and they're sorted by the last name of the person. Also, they're in categories. So you'll notice on the spine, you'll see the letter B. B stands for biography. And you'll see that it'll have the name of the person that the book is about. The other interesting thing is that the biography section is also in categories. So if you love soccer, then you can go to the soccer section and see all the famous people that are soccer players. If you love baseball, you will see all the famous people that are baseball players. Now let's take a look. We're going to just do a little bit of practice so that we can see if we know where these sections are located in the library. Let's look. Who was Martin Luther King Jr.? Now, this first book, ask yourself, is it about a real person or is it a made-up story? Martin Luther King Jr., he's a real person. So we know if it's real, it's either nonfiction or biography. But if it's about his life, what do you think? Good job, boys and girls. This was the biography section. Let's look at this one, Captain Underpants. Is it real or is it made up story? You're right, boys and girls, it's a made up story. So is that fiction or everybody? Good job, boys and girls. This is a chapter book, so this will be in the fiction section. Next, LeBron James. Yes, this is actually a real book. Well, is it nonfiction or is it biography? Well, let's see. If it's about LeBron James' life, good job, boys and girls. It has to be a biography. Good job. Amazing Grace, one of my favorite books, and also the one book that I actually read during my story time on my YouTube channel. Let's see, made up story or is it something that's real? You're correct. It's a made up story. So the question is it fiction or is it an everybody book? Well, I know Amazing Grace has a lot of pictures in it, so it is an everybody book. Okay, we have two more. Judy Blume, The Cool Zone. Is it real or is it a made up story? You're right. It's a made up story. Well, the question is, if it's a made up story, is it everybody or fiction? Well, again, Judy Blume, chapter book, so we know that it is in the fiction section. Good job, boys and girls. And Fancy Nancy in her cool outfit. I love it. Well, let's take a look. Is it real Or is it a made-up story? Yes, of course, it's a made-up story. So is it an everybody book or fiction? Good job, boys and girls. Fancy Nancy is located in the everybody section. Now, I have a couple of more things I want to discuss before I get into my story. Let's discuss Lexile Level. Since you guys are graduating from grade level to grade level, so yes, you guys are reading more chapter books and you're reading on a different reading level. So let's discuss what is the Lexile Level measure of a book? It's more than a number. What's a Lexile measure of a book? Well, the Lexile measure is the readability of a text based on, well, let's take a look. So we know that there is a range. You can range from 200 Lexile, and you see the L there, to 1,700 Lexile. So these are for the lower levels, the 200s, and then it goes up to the 1700s for the higher level. Well, the Lexile readability is based on two things: reading abilities and how difficult the text is. Okay, so it's those two things combined: the reading ability and how difficult the text is. Well, let's look at grade levels just to see the range of where your Lexile level should be according to your grade level. Second grade, let's see, where are you? You're right, 420 Lexile to 650 Lexile. So you have that range. So between the 400s and the 600s, that's the level of the Lexile that you should be reading on. That's also like how difficult your text should be. So it should range from about 400 to 600. Well, let's check out third grade. The Lexile level for third grade is 520 to 820. So do you see? The higher the grade level, the higher that you should be able to read within your text. Well, boys and girls, how do we increase our readability? How do we increase the level of text that we're reading? We have to practice. So getting books that not only are a good fit book, but books that are, you don't want to get books that are too easy, but you don't want to get books that are too difficult. When you're reading, of course, after you think, is this of interest to me? But you also want to choose a book that's going to challenge you to increase your reading level. Okay, boys and girls? But practice makes perfect. Now, what does this look like as far as with the AR dots? Well, let's take a look. Now, second grade, you're going to look mainly at yellow dots, but can you read books that are maybe a little bit lower? Sure. Can you read books that are a little bit higher if you are able to read them? Yes, of course. We want you to challenge yourself. So second grade, yellow dot. And let's look at this Lexile level. 420 to 650 again. Now, if you come into the library, this is what you're used to seeing, that yellow dot there. Okay, that's on your reading level. Well, let's see, what does third grade look like? Third grade, there you are. You're mainly the red dot, but can you read books that are a little bit higher? Green dot, of course. Okay, of course you can, but you also want to make sure that it's a book that you're able to read. Now, red dot, and look at the range of the Lexile, boys and girls, 520 to 820. That would be your reading level that you would want to stick into for your Lexiles. All right, boys and girls, good job, good job. Now, I would like to finish the story that we did on yesterday. We started Scary, Scary Halloween by Eve Bunting, and we're going to finish this up today. But let's think about some things that we're going to actually do for Halloween, boys and girls, when we're actually going trick-or-treating. right. It's gonna take a minute for it to unfreeze. Eve Bunting, Scary, Scary Halloween. And the pictures by Jan Brett. Now, yesterday, when we were reading, we did look at the ghost during Halloween. We looked at the skeleton during Halloween. We looked at the vampire and the witches during Halloween. Let's see what we have in store for us today. Eve Bunting. All right, boys and girls. Cover your eyes and cover your ears. Nightmares walk the streets of fear on dreaded Halloween. Ooh. Ghosts and goblins, gremlins skip and leap. They never rest, they never sleep. They're glad it's Halloween. A devil prances fiery red with horns are sprouting from his head. He knows it's Halloween. Look at the devil, boys and girls. He knows it's Halloween. Thunder, thunder up above. What is it, mother? Shh, my love. It's just the thump of a creature's feet, a creature in a winding sheet. His claws are dragging on the floor. He's crashing, smashing at the door. Will he find us here below? Shh, my love, I cannot know. Trick or treat, it's Halloween. Am I the scariest thing you've seen tonight on Halloween? Do you see the mummy, boys and girls? He didn't see us, he didn't care. We weren't the ones he'd come to scare this night of Halloween. It's quiet now, the monster's gone. The streets are ours until the dawn. We're out, we prowl of the night. Who snaps and snarls and claws the bite? So now that all the ghosts and the goblins are gone, the cats get to play. We stalk the shadows dark and unseen. Goodbye till next year, Halloween. The end, boys and girls. Now, I hope that you remembered all of the particular places in the library. We have the everybody section, the nonfiction section, the fiction section, and the biography section. I also hope that you just are able to familiarize yourself a little bit with your Lexile level. Remember, our goal is to not only get a good fit book and enjoy our reading, but we have to, as young readers, improve in our reading level. Okay, and the more we read, the better we'll get, boys and girls. Until next lesson, see you later. Bye-bye.